Hi, and welcome back again. This will be number 21 on the Norton Project. I started getting the engine mounts cleaned up. I'm going to put the isoelastics in those before I paint them, because that way I don't have to worry about banging up new paint. So let me get on with this one. This is just what was it, about 80 grit sandpaper to get most of that off, and then I went with 400 grit water paper to smooth it down. So you can take that stuff off with the paint stripper, but I tell you what, they don't make that stuff like they used to. It used to be, if you got any of that on your hand, it would eat a hole through your hand, but now you barely tell you've got any on you, and it takes an awful long time to actually strip the paint off of something these days. Although it still does work. But anyway, now that that front one's done, I'll get busy and start cleaning up the rear one. Stand by and I'll show you what I get when I'm finished. Okay, well there we go. I've got the new isoelastic mounts put in there. They're pretty easy to get in. Just follow the instructions. I use dielectric compound on the rubbers when I put them in to help them slide into place. And anyway, I'll be taping these up, of course, with some good masking tape before I put any paint on those engine mounts. But anyway, other than paint, those are ready to go. There we go. The engine mounts are all painted. I've got them hanging off the rafters there till they dry. It takes a while for stuff to dry out here on winter days, because I only heat the garage when I'm out here. Anyway, we'll see how they come out. They look all right for now, but I may need to put a few more coats on them. Anyway, we'll see. There, started getting the old crust and dust off of some of this stuff. That top clamp is really nice. Someone chromed that, and it's still in really nice shape. So anyway, that's a definite keeper for sure. The bottom one, these areas here, the chrome is still good on there, but the front and underneath the chrome was not so good. So I sprayed this with some silver paint in the areas where the chrome was not so hot anymore. But like I said, this section here, the outside, the chrome is still good on that, and I'll put a couple more coats of something on there. I'll probably use that Rust-Oleum chrome paint, because that stuff actually looks pretty darn good, you know, for something that comes out of a spray can. It's not chrome, but you know, it's going to look nice, and plus it's going to be tucked in here under the headlight and between the fork tube, and so you know, your eye's not going to be drawn to that at all. But then I decided to start cleaning up the Z plates, and there is the one off the right hand side where the Zener diode goes in. So that one polished up pretty darn good, and I'm ready to start cleaning up the left one there now. That's the one that's got the little marks in it where the muffler clamps would have vibrated into it. That's how I know for sure that it used to be an S model. So anyway, let me think now. Yeah, this reminds me of a quick little story. I had a friend I used to do quite a bit of work for when I was still in the forces, and he was ex-forces, a giant of a man, but the nicest fellow you'd ever want to meet. His name was Nick Verlinden, and he used to work on a lot of old British bikes, but he always used to look at the Z plates on my other Norton there and ask me where I got them chromed, right? And I used to say, Nick, I said, they're not chrome. I told you before, they're just polished. And he'd go, oh man, I said, they look so righteous, I thought they were chromed. Anyway, righteous was one of his favorite words. The man died, oh my God, must be 30 years ago now. He got killed in a car accident. This was a shame. But anyway, I still miss him, still think about him a lot, especially when I'm doing Z plates for Nortons. Well, here's something I wasn't really expecting. Don't know if you can see it or not just from looking at that, but that Z plate is bent. Somewhere or another that got hit from underneath and driven out the other way, because if I can lay a straight edge across there, you can really notice it there. It looks like about a, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch that other end. And even from here, you get the same effect. So that's about a 1/4 inch down there, maybe even 5/16. So anyway, it appears that the bend is right across here, just under where that lower bolt would hold it to the frame. So anyhow, I don't know if these are forgings or castings. I think they might be forgings, which makes them strong enough that they can take a bend like that without breaking. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to heat this area up here and anneal it, because I want to bend that back. But that would certainly explain why I had one muffler on the left hand side that seemed to be sticking out further than the right hand side one was. Because this end here is what holds the bracket that holds the mufflers on and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to have to try to straighten that out. Geez, I had a pair of those 2 years ago, and I think I sold them at the swap meet for $10 or something. Now I wish I would have kept them. Anyway, I'm going to try to straighten that out. I don't think I'll have any problems, but I'll pray to the gods of bending aluminum that'll bend back without cracking. Anyway, I'm going to anneal it, see what happens. Well, that worked out just as well as I could possibly hope. Anyway, as I mentioned, I heated this up. What I usually do to anneal aluminum is I'll use my oxyacetylene torch, but just use the acetylene, and I'll put a good layer of soot on each side, and then turn on the oxygen, use a neutral flame with the torch, and then you heat this area up where you had it all sooted up. When the soot burns off, flip it over the other side, burn the soot off there. Once the soot's all burned off, the metal's annealed. Then you can cool it off in the snowbank, you can cool it off in a bucket of water, or you can just let it air cool. It doesn't really make any difference. The metal is soft. But anyway, yeah, no cracks, no damage, everything looks great. So yeah, just let me show you here. It's so flat that I can only get, just barely, a 12th thou feeler under that straight edge. So 12 thousandths of an inch after being out, what, 1/4 inch or so? That's pretty good. So now I'll go to work and polish that up like the other one. I'll show you how that looks when it's done. And there we go. That was the first one I did. This is the one that was bent that I just finished up here. Yeah, I think old Nick would think that those were pretty righteous. All right. With the zip plates all cleaned up, I decided I would clean up the brackets that hold the mufflers and the rubber mounting arrangements that are on those. So I'll be replacing those rubber mounts, because after 50 plus years, it's time for some new ones. Let's see. Yeah, there was a bad batch of these that came out, I don't know, I guess maybe about 10 years ago now. And they came out of a very reputable dealers, but anyway, I think they got that problem looked after. So wherever I get the next batch from, I'm sure they'll be just as good as the originals, if not better. So what comes next? Oh, maybe I'll clean up that taillight bracket. I don't think I'm going to document cleaning this up. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to take it all apart and repaint this this black area here. I'll be polishing up these little reflectors, and I know they'll polish up because I was picking at the black spots on this, and the black spots are only dirt. So what else? The lens is good. It's not cracked, so that ought to respond to a good polishing as well. This bracket in under here that connects to the fender, It's made of aluminum, but it's in good shape, and it might be homemade, especially this bracket here that's holding the license plate. I think that might be stainless steel, actually, but I'm definitely going to be replacing those square-headed carriage bolts out of there. That doesn't really look too cool on a motorcycle when you see farm equipment bolts on it and stuff. So anyway, I think, like I said, I'll call this little video quits for now, and I'll keep on cleaning up parts and getting stuff ready. I'll probably work on the Royal Enfield a little bit later on this week, and we'll see how that comes out. So thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe if you want. It only takes a second to do that, and it doesn't cost you a nickel. So anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted. Toodly-doo.